Okay, we're recording. Okay. All right. Good morning, Chloe. Go
Good
ahead and
morning.
introduce yourself. Yeah, thanks.
So my name's Chloe Rothschild, and I'm an autistic self-advocate, and I also am an educational consultant at at the Autism Institute at the Vanderbilt Kennedy Center through the Vanderbilt University Medical Center in Nashville, Tennessee. I work remotely. Um, and I also serve on the Arc of the United States Board of Directors as the secretary of the board.
Thanks. Okay.
And I do a lot of other things, including I co-authored the My Interoception Workbook, a guide to teens, adolescents, and adults with Dr. Kelly Mahler and Jarvis Alma.
We just had a Zoom last week with Kelly and just began to learn about interoception. So could you share some of that and how it's helped you to be able to tap into?
Yeah. So interoception is the eighth sensory sense, and it really helps you feel your body and really just be able to connect your body signals to an emotion that you're feeling and then connect that emotion to an action that you can do to help yourself feel better. And prior to working on interoceptive awareness, I really had um I really was kind of disconnected from those body signals. I knew probably 50 plus self-regulation strategies, and I could use zero of them in the moment because my body just moved from 0 to 100 too quickly. Yet people would always tell me, professionals would always say, like at school, they would always say, well, we've given you all the tools, all you have to do is use them. But one of the essential first steps before self-regulation is interoception, and we didn't know it at the time. I mean, um, so, for example, one time when many years ago, when I had just started working on an interoception, I believe, I wasn't feeling well. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, my leg hurts. He said, okay, you want some Advil? I said, it still hurts. He said, you want a washcloth? You want to rest? You want a snack? All the things. And then I was in my room and all of a sudden I just vomited. Not once did I tell us that my stomach hurt because I didn't know. Sorry, I can't hear
Right.
you.
So like you
Oh,
were,
now.
you could tell then that there was something not right, but you couldn't pinpoint where the problem
Yeah.
was. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow. Yeah, that could be. So as a parent or a caregiver or a teacher, and we see a child that's having some sort of difficulty or something like that, how do we know that it's interoception? How do we know to go there first? Or would you just suggest going there first?
I would just suggest going there first and always looking at things through an interoceptive based lens of how can I help someone feel their body better and it, not only can I help build their interoceptive awareness to be better, but if they're struggling with it, how can I help them be able to use adaptations in their everyday life to help compensate for interoception struggles? So, for example, maybe pre-portioning meal containers for someone who doesn't always feel when they're full. Lines on a water bottle for someone who may not remember to drink water or know when they're thirsty. Um, a timer to remind someone to go to the bathroom if that's a feeling and emotion they struggle with.
Yeah, that's nice. So Kelly had showed us too that she had some cards or whatever where I ordered them. I haven't gotten them yet, but we'll get them where we can help kids to through games and play to understand different
Yeah.
parts of the body. Was that helpful for you? Something like
So
that?
when I first started, uh, so Kelly and I have known each other for 10 years now. When I first started working on interoception, Kelly's curriculum was not out yet. So it was starting to be developed. So a lot of some of the tools she's developing now weren't around when I was first working on it, but I've probably been working on it for 10 years and I've benefited greatly from her curriculum.
Okay, good. Um, how would you suggest helping a child who is non-speaking?
So I actually this kind of hits a personal level too, because for me, even though I'm really verbal, sometimes that abstract language, such as dealing with body signals and emotions, can be hard. And I actually have an iPad that I've used more so in the past than now, but with Proloquo to go. And I actually have it programmed for an interoception b body check. I took the pictures straight from Kelly's curriculum and they are programmed on the device. So one of my best and biggest tips would be to make sure an individual, whether they're speaking or not, has these tools that they need on their communication device, that they have those words programmed.
So you took you made like a separate folder just on interest,
Yep.
and it would
Yep.
talk about, and so did you list body parts and how they feel, or how did you program that? That's interesting to me because we use Proloco to go as well. For,
Yeah. So what I did was the folder's labeled body check, and then it says there's pictures of the hands in words like hands wet, hands dry, hands messy, hands clean, and then we move on to feet, etc., through all 15 body parts that are a part of her curriculum. So then when the OT would say, "How do your hands feel?" I would go and open up the hands folder, or not the folder, sorry, the interoception folder and click hands. And then I would make a choice, and then it would, if we were doing a body check, I would look through all the different colors through those that body check chart.
okay. Oh, that's cool. I think I'm gonna when I get those in, that's what I'm gonna start and put on her iPad. Yeah. I think a lot of our kids don't really identify what's going on inside of them, especially when they've already escalated. It's just gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's too far gone at that point. You can't learn when you're that upset. So the curriculum's really great because it allows you to learn about these body signals outside of an emotion. It kind of more isolates the skill and takes away some of the pressure.
I think that might even be able to help caregivers, when
Yeah.
they get stressed out too, not
Yeah,
do.
yeah, I see she's holding a really cute little kitten.
Yeah, yeah. But that's we do rescue.
So,
Yeah. And
okay, she's adorable, that cat.
yeah. 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 Yeah, that's one of her things is always holding the animals. She's always got to be touching the fur. It's one of her. Yeah.
I
So
love animals too. I do agility dog training for kids, teens, and adults with autism, and we take the dogs through like obstacle courses. It's called Agility Angels.
hey, you want to show your kitty? Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I've done it for over a decade.
That's cool. I'm gonna look that up. Agility Angels. Okay.
It's one of the few programs like it in the world.
Mhm. So what other things can you tell us just about being with having autism and just trying to, well, when I say interact with the world the way it's set up. The world is set up in one way.
Yeah,
And how do we help our kids with autism or even just any disabilities, um, yeah, to be able to interact in the world and feel comfortable? Yeah.
just really being open-minded and really realizing that just because they're doing something differently doesn't mean that their way's wrong, and kind of just helping them be the best that they can be without trying to fix who they are.
Yeah.
Just helping them be the most successful person that they could be and realize that sometimes it's really hard being them. And I think another really important concept is to be aware of masking and individuals who mask and hold in those behaviors. And like those can only be held in for so long before they eventually need to let out those stems or those behaviors because it takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit about that, where kids are, especially like when the ABA therapy type stuff, they're trained to respond. You know, I have this stimulus, respond this way, the stimulus, respond this way.
Depends on the type of it,
Yeah,
on the ABA provider. I
right.
have a and have had a BCBA for 10 years who's been phenomenal,
Mhm.
but
Goes
it really just depends
on the person.
on is it neurodiversity affirming and is the focus on helping the person live their best life. But I mean, I was listening to a book Unmasking Autism. I highly recommend it. It's by Dr. Devin Price, and he's autistic and transgender. And uh, there's also Uniquely Human did a podcast featuring him at one point. But he really talks greatly about like masking can even be a thing for individuals who don't even know that they have autism yet. But often these individuals are trying so hard to fit in and they don't want to stand out from someone else, and often they do that by suppressing their own needs. So like for example, if an environment's too loud, yet that individual doesn't want to wear headphones to be different, so they may just stay in that environment until by the time they get to a safe place, they are just so drained from doing that.
And when they're drained at that point, would that be a time when you might see the escalating behaviors?
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
like to say like literally, I mean that, but eventually you can also see autistic burnout, shutdowns, meltdowns. But yeah, I mean, definitely. I often like to say like the people I have the most difficulties with are the people who I love and trust the most because those are the people I'm most comfortable around and I feel safest around.
Okay. Yeah. So, for an example, if we see a child then is being trained in school to act a certain way all day long, and then they become
Yeah.
explosive at home, it might be because they're masking.
Yes. So like when I was in school, I would all day long up until like through middle school pretty much be fine and then or mostly fine and then I would hit my mom like literally get in my mom's car or the bus would drop me off and I would come in just screaming, crying, hysterics, no level of composure. I could hardly even tell us what happened. Just call Mr. or Mrs. So and so, followed by their extension. And the teacher would often tell my mom, like, we don't see this at school. She was fine all day, and we don't see these behaviors at school. Well, that's because I was holding it in all day long.
When you went home. So there's an example of being misunderstood in many ways too, because the parents,
Yeah.
oh, what am I doing wrong at home? We've got to follow what they're doing at school, but then that would just push you into that mode again. And so we need to look deeper and see that this,
Yeah.
uh, they're doing good in school, but they come home and they're wild because it's not structure anymore. No,
And
there was something else
and
going on.
it's often how can we help them continue to do well in school, but also how can we help them feel safe and have those breaks and feel like they can be who they truly are and get their needs met as well. So like that happy medium.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important for the schools to break away from the traditional pattern of school, and allow,
Yeah.
yeah, I always like if a child needs movement, sit them on a rocker board or let them walk around the class when they're listening to the teacher. Um, yeah, we gotta realize that those things are okay. You know.
Yes, for sure, definitely. I'm a big believer in that.
So you talked a little bit too about the book Uniquely Human and how,
Yeah, I love Uniquely Human.
so I'm reading that
Um,
right now and getting a lot of, there's a lot of information in there. And that's where I felt a bit overwhelmed. How do you know which thing is going on? You know,
yeah, I'm a big fan of Dr. Barry Presents.
was there anything in there you wanted to comment on and that really stands out? Some of the things that he,
Not really, just um that that looking at autism from that social model versus the medical model and really that neuroaffirming lens of how can we help someone be the best they can be without trying to cure them of who they are.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I like that, especially not we're not trying to fix anybody because a developmental
Yeah,
disability is a lifetime thing. We need to support it and help them. He talked a little bit about trauma and then trauma memory, where like
yeah,
it could have happened way back a long time ago, but then it got triggered by a visual or a sound or something. And so he talked about investigating, trying to find out,
for
what
sure. No, I definitely agree with that.
have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah, so that was actually how I got involved with advocacy. Um, so in the summer 2011, I went to a summer camp, a residential summer camp for individuals with autism, and um, I was supposed to be there 3 weeks. I was there 5 days. My mom had to fly to come get me. She didn't know what was wrong or what she was coming to, but she knew something wasn't right. And we came to find out I was verbally neglected. When she picked me up, I had a bump on my head from self-injury, and broken glasses. And really that put me on a mission to really just help educate people and fix some of that ignorance. It really motivated me.
Hey. Anything else you feel moved to share?
No,
We're
that's all I can think
a
of.
sponge, we're like wanting as much information we can just to help us understand better and support better. How are you with how do you like visual schedules? That's a big
I
thing,
re
visual
so
schedule.
I really thrive with visuals. So on my on my dresser, on my kitchen cabinets, there are visual pictures so that I know what's in there because even though I can read, labels don't cut it for me because I need to visually be able to see that picture.
Okay.
So I know what's in there or where I put my clothes when they're clean. Because before that, I it used to be a disaster.
So it's like organizing everything and having clean
Yeah.
clothes, and then you the picture.
No, but not even clean clothes. Like literally what's in the drawer. So pants go in this drawer, socks in that drawer, and not just a label of them, but literally a picture card that says what is in there and shows.
So I know that with autism, it's very important to have things in order. Like chaos just brings a lot of problems. Would you say that like when a lot of times they say, okay, children, they see a child lining up their toy cars. Okay, well, that's they say that's like a classic autism type of thing. But would that just be because it's a sense of order and that
I
they're
mean, it could be for different reasons, but so while I may not like chaos that someone else creates, I'm looking at my desk right now and it's pure chaos, but it's chaos that I created, so it's fine.
nice? Okay, okay, okay.
So
Yeah, I don't really have any other questions or anything more. Just
okay.
you wanted to share, and then we can close up.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came. And then you do have a website, right?
Yes, I have a website and I also have that Facebook page. That is my website. I'm not good at updating it, but that is the website.
Okay. All right, you can hear me now. I guess I was muted. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the website and the Facebook page is on here too, or the link to it probably. Yeah. So
Mhm.
nice. Okay, let me stop sharing that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chloe. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy you were here and visited with us, and we're gonna yeah we're really getting into more of this interoception and trying to understand and better support our students here and just spread the word. So, all right. All
Yeah,
right.
it's been great. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.